security engineering careers or security engineer. There are tons of security engineering careers or security engineering roles out there. Which one is right for you? And what exactly do all these different security engineers do? You see job postings for an offensive security engineer, a malware reverse engineer, a detection engineer, a corporate security engineer, enterprise security engineer, IAM security engineer, cloud security engineer. All these engineers, there's incident response engineer, SIM engineer, endpoint engineer. What do these engineers do and why are they all so different from each other? Like, what exactly is security engineering and what are these different careers? So in today's video and the start of a new series, we're going to be diving into the world of security engineering careers. We're going to be breaking down all these security engineering careers, about 28 different ones, exactly what they are doing, their responsibilities, what they do in their roles, what skills are required, what experience is required, what you might earn in these roles if you're starting out, what companies you could work at with these skills or with these different roles, and what kind of personality type do you need to work in these different roles. So let's just get right into it. All right, so before we get started, if you're new to the channel, my name is Day and I'm a security engineer on the detection and research team at Datadog, and on this channel I talk about everything cybersecurity and cloud security. So if you want more videos like this, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and also leave a comment down below for the algorithm. It really helps with the channel. So let's get into the very first security engineer, and I'm going to be taking a look at my notes here. I've taken a lot of notes because there is a lot to get into in terms of all these different roles, but let's just get into it. So the first one is a corporate security engineer or an enterprise security engineer. Now this one is probably the most common one because it's cross-functional and anyone who's going to be working in this role will be wearing many hats. So your responsibility here as a corporate security engineer deals with a lot of access control. So basically you're provisioning secure access for different resources, different tools or SaaS platforms, a lot of data loss prevention. So everything in regards to ensuring that people are not able to like exfiltrate data through like email or like all the things like that. Like that's also an important part. So that would also involve like a lot of email security as well. You'll be responsible for provisioning and configuring all these different endpoint security tools for whatever, endpoint security management you might be doing at your organization. So if you're using a Windows or Active Directory environment, it will most likely be something like CrowdStrike or SentinelOne or Carbon Black or something like that for endpoint security. And if you're using macOS in your organization, it'll be something like Jamf or Kanji, I believe, which are macOS endpoint detection and response solutions. So you'll be in charge of like provisioning those things and also configuring them, maintaining them, all of that. Also browser security as well. So you're going to be configuring things like ensuring that people are not able to just download random like Chrome extensions or whatever browser you might be using, because that's also an important access vector within, different environments. And then also secure access provision. And I already mentioned this with access control. So everything from like ensuring people have access to password managers, SSO for different things like that. Maybe if you're using like Google Suite, ensuring that everything is like configured with like SAML and like all of those like, configuration stuff like that. And also zero trust, everything essentially that entails like the security of your organization corporate wise. So like all of the endpoints, the resources that people are using, the software, like the SaaS platforms, email, all of that. That's really what the role as a corporate security engineer or an enterprise security engineer is. And every company out there has some sort of function like this. Essentially every company out there requires a corporate security engineer because they're the ones who are going to be responsible for ensuring that all of these different aspects of an organization's overall security is properly configured, properly hardened, things are properly provisioned and stuff like that. Now this role of course has varying levels of experience, but what I see is at much larger companies, corporate security engineering roles are typically given to people who have more experience in all their security engineering functions because there's a lot to cover, domain wise with these roles. So larger companies, like larger big tech companies, typically require people who have more experience in other domains so that you're able to like get more acclimated faster. But I do notice that some smaller companies actually, don't require that much experience. So it really varies with whatever company you're going to, but this is a role that's available to all companies. Now, in terms of certifications, I don't really think there's any specific certification that is going to be important for this because it's a multifaceted role. So like having a broad understanding of security, I think will be the most beneficial thing here because you're going to be doing a lot of cross-functional teams and you'll also be a pivotal team in regards to various other teams across the organization, from the cloud security team to the actual threat detection team to the incident response team. Like your team is sort of like, cross-functional across and is going to be dealing with all these different teams. And again, this is a role that's required by practically every company that exists out there. The next security engineering position we'll go over is the security detection engineering role or a threat detection engineering role. Now this one can exist in various forms and it's like an umbrella role because there's several roles that exist within this kind of role, but we're going to deal with all these roles in a very individual manner. Now I am a detection engineer at Datadog. I mainly focus on cloud security, so everything from AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and SaaS platforms, but this role could focus on like Windows detection engineering, it could focus on macOS detection engineering, it could focus on cloud, for example, it could focus on application security, security, and there are different things that go into it. But the main responsibility here is you're doing research and development of various detection systems to identify and respond to potential threats or breaches within whatever context or environment you might be dealing with. So a lot of responsibilities here are like everything from building out detection rules, doing research into like different vulnerabilities or maybe misconfigurations or threats out there, and also analyzing security logs, sometimes maybe even investigating your alerts to look at how you can better tune them and stuff like that. In my role, some of the things I also do is like building like log parsers or like doing some ETL, essentially to transform raw data into more readable data for the detection engine so that it's properly parsed and actually detects the things that we wanted to detect. So there's that as well. There's also like building out detection content where there's like detection rules or dashboards, or even, and recently I've been working on automated workflows as to where you can create like blueprints for automated things that you can do to immediately respond to a detection. This could help like the response team, of which we'll actually go into the incident response engineering role, which is another security engineering role. Essentially your role encompasses everything detection engineering wise. So building the systems, and some roles even require you actually building the systems that enable threat detection. So like in some cases, you might be building out some actual deployment pipelines as to where you could actually deploy your detections as code using pipelines like GitLab pipelines or even Jenkins pipelines, whatever works for you. But essentially you could be like doing the more engineering things as to where you're actually building out the detection, or you could be doing more of like the infrastructure for the detection itself, which is like those pipelines, those parsers, those deployment mechanisms using like DevOps practices, or in some cases you'll be doing both. So this is a multifaceted role as well, and it could really depend on whatever organization you're working in. Now this role has various opportunities as to where you could be an internal detection engineer at a whatever company you're working at, right? It could be a banking company, it could be a financial company or a healthcare company, or you could perform this role at a product company. So product companies like Datadog, like Wiz, like Sumo Logic, like Splunk, all these different companies hire detection engineers and security researchers to work on the product and actually build out detection content for that product. So you can either be on the product side or on the internal security side in any industry, because every single industry requires people who are able to do threat detection, and then product companies also require people who are able to do detection. The difference between an internal detection role and a product detection role is, in an internal detection role, your scope is typically limited to just your environment. So you have a lot more autonomy over building out detections, a lot more intimacy with your environment. So that way, like it's very, very scoped down to that environment. When you're doing products, you're building for a large amount of people, right? You're supporting thousands, if not tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of customers who use your security detection product. So you have to think of ways by which you can be creative as to where your detections are not necessarily casting too much of a wide net, but also specific enough to help across a wide range of environments. So there are different nuances between whether you're doing it internally or you're doing it in a product company, and those things are things you should definitely keep in mind if you're going to be going into a role like this. Now, in terms of skills and certifications, this one also varies. There's no essential like core education you need for being a detection engineer. I think the core thing you really need to know for becoming a detection engineer, whether it's product or in an internal team, is a strong understanding of systems, whether it's like on-prem systems, whether it's like servers, whether it's like Linux, whether it's like containers, whether it's Windows, it's Mac OS, it's the cloud, it's SaaS platforms, it's applications. You need a core understanding of those systems, how they work, how attackers compromise those systems, how attackers leverage vulnerabilities to compromise those systems, and also how to look for those indicators of compromise, not specifically indicators of compromise, but basically look for those indicators within artifacts, log artifacts, or forensic artifacts, and surface them properly for responders to use them when they're investigating incidents within the environment. So that again, is really dependent on like what skills you want to build, right? But other things that could help you with this is like malware analysis, threat intelligence as well, because these are like, this role is also a bit of a cross-functional role as to where you might be doing a little bit of analyzing malicious artifacts, or maybe doing some threat intelligence, reading the threat reports to dissect that report and basically apply the feedback or the knowledge from that threat report into building out detection rules that might fit your environment or for your product. So it's also sort of a role where like you kind of have to create your own path into it. There's no like set certification or training for this. You just have to have a good understanding of systems, attackers, and detection. And again, there's a lot of opportunities for this kind of role. You can work either internally, any sort of industry, or at product companies like Palo Alto, or even like MDRs, right? Sophos, Optiv, CrowdStrike, right? Huntress, Expel, right? These roles are very, very important at MDR companies as well, because you're doing this managed security thing for other people. So yeah, it's very, very multifaceted, and there's a lot of opportunities with what you can do. It really just depends on if you're doing it for MDR, internal, or product. Now, the next security engineer we're going to be talking about is a security incident response engineer. Now, you might not be familiar with it because you're probably only familiar with an incident response analyst or a SOC analyst or an incident responder, but there are actually security incident response engineers. And by the time you're watching this video, I might actually be in a role where I'm actually doing security incident response engineering. We'll see how that turns out. But basically, the responsibilities here involve taking an engineering mindset into security incident response. Now, when I say taking an engineering mindset into security incident response is how do we reduce toil for our responders and our analysts? And what that boils down to is automation. Now, with incident response, everything is dependent on speed, context, and understanding like what exactly happened. The faster you can get that data, the more accurately you can get the data can really help with your incident response process. So in this case, as an incident response engineer, your major focus would be looking for ways and building out ways by which you can streamline processes and make the incident response process a lot more efficient. That might look like building out incident response playbooks, really complex playbooks, or even really simple playbooks. Maybe it might look like building out systems by which you can automate the response to specific activities, whether it's like using Slack bots or using like automated messages, or building out systems by which you can send context from your alerting engine into your ticketing engine and bring that context to you a lot faster. Everything that involves making the incident response process a lot more efficient is what you're doing as an incident response engineer. So that might also involve automating the collection process, automating the containment process, the eradication process as well. How do you automate, for example, in an AWS environment, completely disconnecting an EC2 instance from the internet? Maybe that might look like specific things within your VPC or specific things within your subnet or security group. Maybe that might involve building out Lambda functions or step functions or whatever the case is. How do you streamline the process by which you can eradicate activity? You can contain an instance, you can contain Kubernetes clusters, or you can contain a specific user's account. Essentially, what I'm trying to get at here is with security incident response engineering, your goal is to make the security incident response a lot more efficient. And that involves bringing an engineering mindset into it. Now, in terms of skills and maybe certifications or training, this is also a multifaceted one, but having strong incident response skills is important first because you need to understand like, exactly what forensic artifacts are necessary, the incident response process, understanding like the methodologies, how to actually investigate, hunt for different things and stuff like that. In order to add on to that, strong automation skills are very important. So familiarity with programming languages like Python or Go will be very important, especially Python, to automate different things, whether it's like the forensic process, the containment process, the eradication process, the collection process, or even your lessons learned process, or even your preparation process. Like, how can you make the response process a lot more efficient? That's your goal as an incident response engineer. Now, incident response engineers can work anywhere, but I see these roles being a lot more geared towards bigger tech companies or more established companies that don't necessarily have SOCs or actual analysts, because the engineer also functions in the same responsibility or light as an analyst. So in this case, you're looking at practically bigger tech companies that are actually looking for people who have these strong automation skills and also strong investigative and forensic backgrounds, and are able to combine these things to make the investigation and response process a lot more efficient. Now, I realize this video is getting a bit long and I haven't even gotten into a quarter or half of these different security roles. So make sure to stay tuned for the next part of this, where I'll be going into other security roles like the endpoint security engineering role, a SIM engineering role, security threat intelligence engineering role, and various other roles. So yeah, this is going to be a very long series, so definitely keep an eye out for it. And I'm happy to answer any of your questions down below. If you think I'm missing out any roles that I might be able to explain more about, definitely leave a comment down below. Or if you think I'm not explaining these roles properly, leave a comment down below. I want to see what you think in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and share this video with anyone who you think will find it valuable. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.